Whoo! What's going on, guys? Square Enix! You guys know that I'm a huge Square Enix fan. I have countless videos on here talking about Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest. You name it pretty much on this channel. I've made a video about it when it comes to Square Enix. And one of the biggest things I don't like is the way they do business. And it's not just PlayStation. They do business weirdly with just about anything you could think of when it comes to exclusivity. They have a habit of locking certain titles down on platforms. They've done it from Foam Stars. You know, they even do it on PlayStation, on Nintendo. You know, Triangle Strategy. I'm pretty sure that was one too, if I remember correctly. Phil Chronicles, that was a multi-plat. Valkyrie Elysium, exclusive to PlayStation in terms of console. I do think that game came out for PC. Foam Stars, we know how that went. Forspoken, Babylon Fall, I'm pretty sure that was a PlayStation exclusive too. May have been on PC. Strangers of Paradise, we know how that game went. The point is all these games being released for a multi-plat here, being released exclusively here, it has led to them having issues. Now, I don't 100% agree with the fact that, you know, the rhetoric going on is it's just because of the timed exclusive or the full-blown exclusivity with PlayStation. I don't believe that. I just think Square Enix, they have successful games like Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Rebirth. Well, I guess you could count both of them. But they also have a lot of games that just put a lot of money into it and didn't get none of it back. You know, Phil Chronicles, I enjoyed it. I actually think I have like 800 gamer score in the game. I'm close to 100%ing that game, to be honest with you. Valkyrie Elysium, I beat that game. It was okay. Foam Stars, we don't really got to go past that. Forspoken, I wouldn't say that game made much money, if not any. Babylon Fall, I don't know, but I was told that game was horrible. And Strangers of Paradise was pretty much a Dark Souls game with the Final Fantasy universe, but wasn't done as well. They are making bad decisions on what they support and what they greenlight. I think that's the biggest issue we have here. Now, we can't say the Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth being exclusive, especially games like Forspoken, Valkyrie Elysium. These games were exclusive as well, and it definitely didn't help them. These days, a third-party publisher like Square Enix, they don't need to lock any of their games behind any of these console manufacturers. It needs to be one of those things where they put it in as many people as possible, because clearly the business model they were working on right now is not working. That's why they, move CEOs. That's why you saw Phil Spencer go up on the stage, because they're trying to mend these relationships, because they see where they're going now is not working for the long term of things. Now, I don't want to go on this like big thing. A lot of people don't think something like Rebirth did fantastically well. Probably didn't sell as well as Remake, but Remake released during the pandemic. We got to understand that that's not the norm for everything. The sales that was happening during the pandemic is probably never going to be redone like it was then, because people were stuck at home. They couldn't go out. They couldn't do anything. So they were spending more money on entertainment. I'm sure if you look at it, movies did better, like digital movies. I'm sure subscription services like Netflix and Hulu did extremely well. I'm sure all that industry flourished. But the problem is that we have now is they're looking at something like Rebirth and wanting better success than Remake. And at the end of the day, one would think that a sequel, the hypeness will drop off, not increase. Think about when you watch an initial movie on something. If you didn't enjoy it, are you going to go out and support the sequel? People that didn't enjoy the direction that the remake was going wouldn't necessarily invest into Rebirth because they didn't like what they played on Remake. Look, not saying that the exclusivity helped, because it definitely didn't. And I don't want this like rhetoric thinking that all their games fail, because a lot of their games don't do good. But the Final Fantasies, I will say, those games did good. It's just the other games, they didn't do the greatest to carry it. You know, the whole company can't be revolved around Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. There's got to be other things that's done, and I think that's the reason they're moving in this direction, is because when they do make games like Diofield Chronicle, you know, Valkyrie Elysium, Foam Stars, they can't lock it behind platforms because they are cutting at their own heads. They need to make sure it's as in front of many people as possible. Obviously, we got to talk about Xbox. You know, Xbox has had this huge issue when it comes to making sure that they have these games on launch, and they've been missing the Final Fantasy VIIs, the remakes, the rebirths, and now it's looking like those games are going to come over. I'm curious if they're going to try to port them to, you know, the Nintendo Switch. I would say the Switch 2 will probably have remake and rebirth. It just depends on whether or not PlayStation secured those marketing rights and secure those timed exclusive. We have to see a little bit more on that. And once again, even though that they have made it very public that they're doing this new approach with multi-platform and they're not going to do exclusivity anymore, we don't know what PlayStation and Nintendo, because Nintendo could have locked some up too, even Xbox to that degree. We don't know what these platforms have already had deals in place. You know, there's a rumored Final Fantasy 9 is a remake, or I don't know if it's a remaster or a remake, but 10 supposedly being made. Final Fantasy Tactics is supposed to be getting a remake. Now, I'm hoping these games are still greenlit. They've probably been worked on for a few years, so I'm assuming they're okay. Hopefully. You'll probably see some of these games come over to PC, to Xbox, to the Nintendo Switch, because I highly doubt PlayStation secured most of these. Now, maybe if they were making a Final Fantasy VI remake in the background that has been announced, maybe PlayStation came in and swooped that up. But I don't know. You know, we don't know what's going on in terms of what deals have been struck between these two companies already. But I would say, besides those contracts, Square's not signing anymore. Most of their games, if not all of their games, I would say will be a multi-plat here going forward. But what do you guys feel? Put in the comment section below. Do you think that, you know, this is a big deal for the industry in general? You know, a lot of people really enjoyed Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, and the fact that you couldn't play it as many places as possible was definitely frustrating for a lot of people, especially myself. You know, I got all the platforms, but, you know, if I already have a console up here, I don't want to, like, keep rotating consoles around. So it's going to be nice to have them, more of the games I love, on one platform. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely hit that like button if you guys appreciate it. You can always sub to the channel. We make weekly content over here. You can follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP. And you can follow my streaming channel. I'll be streaming Hellblade. All that's in the description below. Addict Arena is the streaming channel. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.